Tonight on the Rockbridge Report, Governor Tim Kaine forces one of Virginia's most prominent correctional centers to close its doors. A Rockbridge farm comes to life to celebrate the 200th birthday of a man who revolutionized agriculture. Kids from around the county put on their green hats and do their part to save the environment. And why is everyone talking about Lexington all of a sudden? These stories and more on tonight's Rockbridge Report.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the Rockbridge Report. I'm Cameron Steele. A Washington Lee student is home tonight after being struck by a university-operated sober ride bus on Saturday. Sophomore Liz Blackwood says the bus struck her at an off-campus party, fracturing her left hip. The accident underscores an ongoing debate about the dangers of unregulated student parties in the county. University officials say they are cooperating with police and plan to conduct an internal review of the sober ride system. Lexington gets its first paid fire and emergency medical services chief. According to the News-Gazette, Tyson Dickerson will move to Lexington from College Park, Maryland, where he was the chief of the volunteer fire department. He was also the chief of the volunteer division of the Prince George's County and Fire and EMS Department. Dickerson takes office on November 2nd. Tomorrow, a historical part of Natural Bridge will become nothing more than a memory. Rockbridge reporter Brett Holton takes you inside the decision to close the Natural Bridge Juvenile Correctional Center.
Since 1944, the Natural Bridge Juvenile Correctional Center has teemed with life, but tomorrow, it closes its doors for good. Mike Hamilton, the center's director, says no one saw it coming.
We were instructed by the Department of Juvenile Justice officials that due to Governor Kaine's budget reduction plan that this facility would be closed. It came rather abrupt and it was actually a shock to us.
The center's 71 residents have been farmed out to other facilities around Virginia, a process that wasn't easy considering the distance between centers.
If you look at where the other juvenile correctional facilities are located, we're 120 miles from those facilities for the most part.
And it's not just the former residents that feel the effects of the center's closing. The decision has already made waves in Natural Bridge's economy and Rockbridge County as a whole.
Approximately 97 people are losing their jobs. Automatically that's going to have a direct impact on the economic condition here in Rockbridge County, which, as most would probably agree, is already depressed as it is.
Natural Bridge is what is known as a step-down facility, the last stop residents make before being reintroduced into society. And for a step-down facility, Natural Bridge really is a step above the rest. It has no fences and security is minimal.
I'm sure the department will try to mimic or copy some of what we established here. It's just going to be rather difficult at some of the other settings because of how structured they are.
Hamilton says there is hope the center might reopen when Virginia's new governor takes office in January. But for now, all the people of Natural Bridge can do is wait. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Brett Holton.
Governor Kaine's Assistant Press Secretary Michael Kelly just recently contacted the Rockbridge Report. In a statement, he said, "The budget was obviously passed. We realized the revenues were going to come in short. Virginia has to have a balanced budget. The governor has gone through line by line and made decisions that way. The governor has been very much into performance budgeting. He takes it case by case. The decision to close the Natural Bridge Center was not made hastily. This has been a long, deliberate, analytical process to address the shortfall. It's obviously tough times for families, tough times for businesses, which means the state is seeing reduced revenues. That was the facility that could be closed without compromising capacity. It wasn't a reflection of the work done there or the programs that were operating. It was just a facility that would address the shortfall the greatest without compromising the state's capacity numbers. Tough times means tough decisions, unfortunately." Meanwhile, Mr. Hamilton, the director of the Natural Bridge Juvenile Correctional Center, asked the Rockbridge Report to make it explicitly clear that his statements in this piece do not reflect the opinion of the Department of Juvenile Justice. On a brighter note, in Rockbridge County, the area YMCA says it is just a few months away from moving to a bigger and better location. The new facility has almost 4,000 more square feet than the current one. The Y plans to use that added space to host community events in addition to their after-school program. The Y also says its plans to request financial support for the move from the County Board of Supervisors at their meeting next Wednesday. Later on the Rockbridge Report, see why there's such a big buzz around small-town Lexington. But first, an comes to life and gears up to go green as residents celebrate the 200th birthday of one of agriculture's biggest names. People of all ages celebrated Mill Day at McCormick Farm on Saturday. The annual event is the only time during the year the restored grist mill operates, but those connected with the historic farm aren't resting on their laurels. Rockbridge reporter Victoria Taylor shows us how the past and future unfold down the road.
It's Mill Day at McCormick Farm. This National Historic Landmark pays tribute to inventor Cyrus McCormick, who celebrates his 200th birthday this year. It was here that he demonstrated his mechanical reaper. This invention allowed farmers to harvest more wheat in less time, revolutionizing the agricultural industry. As the water-powered grist mill turns, event-goers get a picture of what life was like in the 1800s. They can take hayride tours and watch blacksmiths at work. Children also play dress-up and get a taste of the farm's rich history. But McCormick Farm isn't just focused on the past. Officially, it's known as the Shenandoah Valley Agricultural Research and Extension Center, and it's one of 13 operated by Virginia Tech. The researchers here try and develop better farming practices.
They are showing sustainable agriculture, and that really is the best message.
For example, the center studies beef production from cows that eat grass rather than grain. Despite this change in grazing cattle, the beef tastes almost the same.
Yes, you can taste a little difference. I mean, you have to prepare it differently, but overall it's got a very good taste and it's a very good product.
Fisk says grass-finished beef is better for you because it has less fat and is more friendly for the environment. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Victoria Taylor.
Green also says the Soil and Water Conservation District leads school tours through McCormick Farm. The farm is open daily, weather permitting, and there is no admission fee. But it's not just the Cyrus McCormick Farm that's gone green. The kids at Wasteddell Elementary are getting in on the action too. The school's new green team collects everything from paper and ink cartridges to used cell phones and juice bags. After the kids collect the materials, a truck makes a weekly stop at the school to bring the recyclables to a nearby plant. There, they are made into lunch boxes and coin purses. The Wasteddell PTA funds the program and hopes to teach kids the importance of recycling. Up next on our broadcast, is it time to get out your winter coats or your raincoats? We'll have your weekend weather forecast after the break. It looks to be a pretty gray, maybe even chilly weekend here in Rockbridge County. Friday's high of 83 may mark the last warm day we'll see for a while. On Saturday, it might be time to break out that raincoat. Expect some showers along with a high of 62 and lows dipping down into the high 40s. And those clouds are sticking with us through Sunday, where we can expect cool temperatures with a high of 65 and a low of 48. Hope you haven't hung up that raincoat yet, because Monday looks to bring scattered showers with temperatures reaching down into the low 40s. But come Tuesday, you might have to trade in your poncho for a parka. Temperatures could get as low as 34 degrees and aren't expected to break 54. But don't let the drizzles leave your sense of adventure soggy. There's plenty to keep you busy this weekend. You can enjoy a night of live music as the Blue Ridge Folk Festival kicks off Friday at 6:30 in Glenmari Park. Tickets are $12 for children and $15 for adults. On Saturday, the Hill of a Climb bike race in Buena Vista checks in at 9 and the race starts at 10 in the morning, while the House Mountain Horse Show continues at the Virginia Horse Center. And on Sunday, the Rockbridge Area Conservation Council serves up its annual potluck and offers plenty of treasures in a silent auction at the Rockbridge Bass Firehouse. Up next on the Rockbridge Report, Lexington may have small town charm, but find out why it's grabbing big city attention when we come back. Listen up, Lexington. The October 2009 issue of Budget Travel magazine names Lexington, Virginia one of America's coolest small towns. Rockbridge reporter Catherine Carlock has the story.
You know you're in Lexington when you hear the clip-clopping of horses' hooves. Mayumi Smitka, the marketing director for the Center for Lexington and Rockbridge Area Tourism, says the budget travel article is publicity the center just can't buy.
We are absolutely elated to be named one of America's coolest small towns. This does so much for our exposure nationally and within the community.
Smitka says the national exposure helps local residents remember why Lexington is such a cool place to live.
Sometimes when we live here on a day-to-day basis, we can't see all the wonderful things that our area has to offer.
One of Lexington's most defining characteristics is a horse and carriage ride that tells the town's history. Tour guide Courtney Rodenizer has lived in Lexington her whole life.
Most of these people that are coming to Lexington to see that small town life are from bigger cities, and they've never experienced that Mayberry kind of life.
Roanoke native Mike Perdue says seeing the article online entices him to come visit.
It's very nice, very quaint, but everybody's really friendly and, you know, just a nice atmosphere.
First-time visitor Connie Watson says it's a sense of history that makes a trip to her father's hometown so special.
I love it. It's the first time I've ever been here. Really? And it's beautiful. A lot of history, and I love history.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Catherine Carlock.
That's it for this week's edition of the Rockbridge Report. I'm Cameron Steele. Now, be sure to tune in next Thursday at 4:30, and don't forget to check out our website at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. We've got a lot of great print stories along with some more information. Thanks for joining us.